Then that's good.
Are we going live?
Well,
Y'all live, so don't say anything crazy.
oh, Kevin, don't say nothing crazy. Hey,
Hey
everybody,
everybody, we are
welcome.
live. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Tiffany is hot, as she said. She
I'm
said I'm
hot.
hot. She's just bragging. She knows.
No, it's hot, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all gonna see some skin tonight. It's hot. It's hot out here in New York. I know y'all hot. So, what's going on?
And Kevin, how you doing, brother? We got to see Patricia in the flesh, live. What's up,
She's
Patricia?
so beautiful. Hey,
Oh,
Patricia.
how'd you how'd you pull Patricia, Kev? Like, what the hell? What kind of swag?
Kev, tell him it's your Sagittarius personality.
What kind of swag you got?
Mad swag.
Mad swag. That's Sagittarius swag.
Uh, it
And the Scorpio. Don't leave out the Scorpio.
was good to see.
Oh, yeah.
We got a very hot show for you today. It's hot outside, and today's show is going to be even hotter. Today we decided to do something different. This topic was suggested by Nikki, your cousin.
My sister, Nikki. Hey, baby.
Yeah, so we kind of, I guess I don't know. I don't feel like we go hard, but every Sunday the topics are obviously racially motivated, and we haven't given, we have some white allies, and we need to appreciate those white people who are not blinded by racism, or not blinded, are not living in denial, as I would say. So we're gonna have videos from Miss Jane Elliot, Tim Wise, Rodney D'Angelo. Those are the prominent white people who are out there in the public, who we all know very well, who speak truth and are not afraid of the truth. We're not looking for white people to just see our side, but just speak the truth. And these three white folks obviously are out there speaking truth. And thank you, Nikki, for suggesting this, because so hopefully the comments section would be nicer.
The chat, in the chat, please
Good
be
luck with
nice.
that.
We're going to be talking about white allies. But then we're going to talk about some crazy stuff.
Yeah. So hopefully it's going to be, but listen, there's no hatred on this show.
No.
We want to make our Black community better. And as I always say, we need the most help. The Black community needs the most help. And that's what we set out to do. And that's what we're going to continue to do. So with that being said, Tiffany, you want to do me the honors? And
yes. Good evening, everyone. We are protected by the Fair Use Act. We are only we do not own the rights to the content or the music. We're using it for educational purposes only and entertainment purposes only. Please make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment, a heart, anything, just to let us know that you chimed in and you're listening to us. Again, thank you again. We appreciate you all. Let's go, Carl.
All right. So here is Jane Elliot. This was back, I don't remember the year, but this was Jane Elliot on the Oprah show, talking about race as usual.
Color has nothing to do with it. The treatment does, and the attitude does. But color has nothing to do
You're
with
an exception
love.
to the rule. Everyone does not have the exact same attitude that you have.
But in America, we are the melting pot of the world. And we should be able to be tolerant. And you should dislike me because I'm white, and I should dislike you because of your color.
Now, wait a minute, people. What do you mean by melting pot? That we put everybody together and mix them all up and they all come out the same so that white folks feel comfortable with them, so that blue-eyed folks feel comfortable with them? We don't need a melting pot in this country, folks. We need a salad bowl. In a salad bowl, you put in the different things. You want the vegetables, the tomatoes, the lettuce, the cucumbers, the onions, the green peppers, to maintain their identity. You appreciate differences. A melting pot does not appreciate differences, and this country ought to be about appreciating differences. That female wants us to be the same.
What do you base the fact that blue-eyed people are less intelligent or lazy?
They haven't been on the earth as long as brown-eyed people have, and that's a fact. Yeah. The first scientists at the University of Southern California traced the DNA molecule back. Now, look at this boy. He wants to talk. Is he being a good listener? No. These people know the listening skills? No. And if they know the listening skills, why aren't they practicing them? As I was saying,
We can see where this is
going. University of Southern California, sit down and listen. Trace the DNA molecule. Trace the DNA molecule back using computers, 2 or 3.
Why was it suddenly necessary to create this thing called the white race? Well, because rich people can count, that's why. And so rich folks looked around, the ones that owned all the land, you know, in the colonies, the colonial elite, looked around and they realized something, that they were heavily outnumbered by African enslaved folks, by European indentured servants, who were just one level above a slave, or other Europeans who weren't technically indentured servants, but they were still peasants, didn't have any money, didn't have any land, and they could do the math. They added it up, and they were like, damn, we got to figure out a way to split these folks apart from one another, or they're going to rise up and take our stuff, right? Because after a while, these black folks who were enslaved Africans and these quote-unquote white folks who were poor Europeans are going to figure out they're all getting played by these rich people. Right? So ultimately, the rich figure out they got to come up with some way to get somebody in that group on their team. The easiest thing is to get the poor Europeans, right? Because at least they look like you. They sort of share some of the customs and the culture. So they all of a sudden create this thing called whiteness, and they say, now you're part of the club. Now we're going to let you testify in court, enter into contracts, vote, at least if you're a man, own a little bit of land, at least if you're a man, right? And we're going to get rid of indentured servitude. No more of that, because you're too good for that. And we're going to take the white men, now called white men, and put them on the slave patrol to keep black people in line. Give them a horse and a gun and a badge and make them feel big and powerful, right? They're still poor. They still don't have anything. They didn't pay the slave patrol well, right? Just exploited them, used them as a buffer between the elite and the other poor folks, particularly poor folks of color. And pretty soon, the rebellions that occasionally happened where black and white got together to overthrow the elite, those stopped. Because the divide and conquer had begun to work, right? You could turn people against each other by telling those poor white folks, they got to keep these black people in line. And so that divide and conquer gets initiated in the colonies. Rich white men telling not rich white people that their enemies are black and brown. Fast forward to the Civil War era. And you have, I'm from the South, right?
By age 3 to 4, all children who grow up here understand it's better to be white. No child misses the message. And it's not a singular, isolated message. It's not dependent on some mean person. That message circulates 24/7. And they know it and they absorb it. And when we project this racial innocence on them, we leave them unattended to it. They can't resist it. So Frozen for me is a great example for the younger and for the teen years. This is last year's top 5 runners-up for Miss Teen USA. No little girl misses the message. And yes, they are 5 different girls. This is the group that they were drawn from, right? And because I know my people, I am confident that for all these white girls, that one black girl is their evidence for why they're not racist. But I want to move these white girls way past were you or weren't you friendly to the black girl. If you were friendly to the black girl, you're free of all racism. I want to move them to a really different place, which is what's going on here? How does it keep getting reproduced? How have you been shaped by it? And what role will you play going forward to reproduce it yourself if you can't see it or understand it?
Click the link in the bio.
I want every white person in this room who would be happy to be treated as this society in general treats our citizens, our black citizens. If you, as a white person, would be happy to receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen for others.
Fuck what you want, I cash. Can't go to the burbs and set up shop. Can't fuck with niggas, y'all been the ops. Follow us around like we trying to steal. Put that shit back, then you shoot to kill. Got away with murder, killing Latasha inside. And you bitches still think we gon' hurry up and buy. We taking back our hood and our dollars too. Fuck Rick Chow and Soon Jadu. If our money don't matter, why you so mad? Stand on anti-black business since you think you're bad. This ain't a boycott, it's a blackout, bitch. Why black on and watch the hood get rich? Oh, fuck y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. Fuck y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. Fuck y'all, we tired. We bang you long time. Fuck y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. Fuck y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. We bang you long time.
With the knowledge you get, break away from the chains. We helping you grow. Therapy show. We in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We're giving you empathy, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all the schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. No, it's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Yeah, what's up? First, let me apologize to your mom, Tiffany, because I know
Thank
your mom, the lyrics of that song was not appropriate, but I just had to play it, and we tired. You know what I mean?
Listen,
I want a copy of that. I want a copy of that song. A copy of that song. That song dope as hell.
Yeah, we do not own the rights to this content, to this music. It's just for education and entertainment purposes only.
Thank you. Yes. So yeah, we tired. And Mama Lee, if you heard that, I apologize as well.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, "Oh God, Jesus!"
We tired, and we're not tired. Of course, I know when I say we tired, people in the comments gonna say, "Stop complaining," blah blah blah. But we just tired, just like white people are tired about animal abuse, right? You see them on TV all the time. They show those really bad pictures of dogs. And they said, send your money because they'll look at these poor. They're tired of that. So they're tired of that. We are tired of this. But today's show is about our white allies on the other side of the aisle, as we can say, because it kind of seems like every Sunday people feel like we beat down on the white. But we just talk about racism, and if it so happens that white people are the reason we're talking about racism, then so be it. But as you saw, Jane Elliot asked that elegant question: if you as a white person would like to be treated the way black people in this country are treated, stand up. How many people stood up? Not one person. And like she said, you know what's happening, but you're doing nothing about it because you know it's going on. So you are aware of it, but you choose to move in silence. So today's show, we are going to showcase our white allies, and we appreciate them.
We can't forget Jolly Good Ginger.
Jolly Ginger, my God, I forgot him. I'm gonna try to post some of his videos during the show.
Yeah, Jolly was out there too at that 250 fiasco. Well, I'm saying it wrong. Fiasco, that craziness that was going on out there. I heard it was not cute out there at that whatever Trump thought he was putting together.
Yeah, so I am going to put a link in the chat, and if anyone wants to come on the show and join the topic for today, please feel free to do so. But Tiffany, like the song says, we tired. And I've said, are we spinning our wheels? I mean, we do the show Sunday after Sunday, and we talk about, race, and we are actually trying to to make things better. But from the comments, I can clearly see that there's still a lot of people that are not interested in making things better.
Oh no!
It's almost like they tell us to. I have white friends that have told me, you know what? I don't know if that would be considered a friend, but they say the more you talk about race, Carl, the more you make it worse. Almost, they say, if you just shut up, if black people just stop talking about it, eventually it'll go away.
I think America needs therapy. No, for real. Just think about it. They sit and put down everything that has happened from its beginnings to its end. And I want to hear what a therapist says. Okay? I really want to hear. I really think that America needs therapy because you got to remember, a lot of people don't see what we see. They don't feel what we feel, and that's the saddest part about it. And then you have people that looks just like us feel the way they feel, aka coons, and it's just sad to know that this is going on. But I'm gonna be honest, I cannot be trying to change people or help people. I'm just gonna deal with the people that's in my circle, and we can help the people that we can help. Because I'm telling you, these people are ignorant. They very ignorant, and they stand hard on their stupid business. I mean, very ignorant people.
Yeah. Kevin, you tired, brother?
No, not at all. I'm just listening to the conversation, brother. Like I'm going to sleep.
No, I mean tired of the song.
Oh, no, man. No, I'm not tired because if I'm tired of it, it's never going to end, right? We could have this show until we are in our 90s with gray and silver hair. We'll still be talking about the same thing Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. Racism is not going to end. We have to find a way to just better our community, better ourselves, and yes, live among our allies who want an end to this, because yes, there are millions of white people who don't want to live in an America that we live in right now. They want their kids to go to school and grow up around other black kids and other kids of color, and everybody just want to live. There's white people just want to live their lives like we want to live our lives, and if we coexist, they're okay with that, and we're okay with that in most cases. So, but there's another 80, 90 million maybe Americans who, feel like the guys on the National Mall did yesterday with the mask on. We'll get to that, right? So, and those guys aren't going to change.
Yeah,
there's nothing we can do to change them. They're not going to change. And those racist people, I was strolling on Facebook. I'm sorry, social media, not specifically Facebook, it was social media over the last 24 hours after the incident that happened in Washington, D.C., which we'll get to shortly. But I just see so many people that support them. And I'm like, it's heartbreaking to know that still, it's just heartbreaking to know that we're still there. It's 2026. And yesterday was America's 250th birthday.
Yeah.
And it's celebrated with racism. Mm-hmm. We have probably I would say arguably the most racist administration of our time. Of course, there was others, I was
about to say, I think they was always there. He just
about time though. The most, I think this administration is the most racist of our time. Mm-hmm. Of our lifetime, is what I'm saying, of our lifetime, So I can't be tired. I got to be motivated to just live my best life, surround myself with loved ones, and our allies who, like I said earlier, guys, who just want to live as normal as possible existing here in America. I see a lot of times on social media, America KKK, and I can't even argue with that because I know there's so many racist ass people in this world. I see it. I read the comments online and they're like, I can't even believe what I'm reading sometimes. I'm like,
yeah, me too.
Are these people serious? Just the attacks on the Obamas alone that I just read yesterday, some of the attacks on the Obamas are like treacherous. I won't even repeat some of the stuff that I read. It's too tragic to even repeat. you know, and you said therapy, you know, Tiffany. Yeah, we need therapy because we deal with.
Post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Thank you. This lady, the young lady on the metro, the DC Metro, and we'll get to that, like I said, later on in the show, most likely. But she'll be traumatized by that, you know. No matter what happens, she might be famous. She might get on some talk shows now. She might get some money in her Cash App. She's gonna be okay, most likely, because she's now got one of the most famous faces in America because of what happened yesterday. But tell me that's not traumatic. It is, because I still have you know, backlash from just being racially profiled by a cop 20 years ago. I haven't gotten over that. I don't think a day go by when I get in my car and start up my car and pull out the driveway before I get to the mailbox that I think about getting pulled over by a cop and being abused. That's stress. That's traumatic.
That's you and many black men.
Exactly. And white men who say racism doesn't exist.
Oh, it's all
The average white guy that gets in his car before he pulls out his driveway, he doesn't think about getting pulled over by a cop and being abused or being even killed just for a routine traffic stop. No, they don't do it. It doesn't exist in their heads because 9 out of 10 it doesn't happen to them. But it has happened to Black American over and over again for decades. Yesterday was 250 years of this birthday. Can you imagine how many black men have been killed by cops over the last 250 years unfairly? And the numbers are, if there was a way to count the numbers, it would be staggering. So yeah, it's not going to end, guys. The racism is not going to end. We just got to figure out a way to take our allies. And we didn't mention the king of all allies who gave his life was John Brown, right? John Brown, the original.
Yeah, he's the first one. Yes, the original, the first allies.
The original ally who freed the slaves and sided with against slavery and actually cost him his life. He was hung.
His sons.
Yes, they were hung. Yeah, executed for freeing slaves. But you know, there's always been John Browns, though. There are many others who aren't as famous as John Brown that have lost their life in the battle and going up against, you know, what's the young lady? I always bring her name up. I think she was just, 24, 25 years old. The young lady down in Fredericksburg, Virginia, Hayek, I think her name was. She was killed, ran over by the white supremacists, ran over with the car. And she was out there protesting against the white supremacists in Virginia during Trump's first term. She was out there. I'll pull her name up as we get later into the show. But yeah, she was out there protesting against white supremacy, white girl, and was killed by a white supremacist. So she didn't have to be out there. She's a white girl. She had to be out there. They wasn't out there for her. But she was out there.
That's the worst, right? You know, in white supremacy, that's actually the worst thing you can do is be a black person lover. They call, you know, my mother told me not to be there doing the N-word, but an N-word lover. They don't
Thank you, Mom.
You know, they would definitely take you down if you trying to help some black person. They didn't like that either. So a lot of these white allies, they are threatened also. I think they have another man, Mr. Sam or something, or Agent Sam. He's another one that also talks about the bad behavior of his own people, because it's really going to take white people to tell their own white people about their behavior, because they're not trying to hear us. And if they don't look through history and see what they have done and what it has done to us now in our future, I don't know what is going to tell them. So I salute our white allies. Please talk to your white friends.
All right, here's one of our white allies, not as well known as the rest that we mentioned, but
let me mention her name real quick. Heather Heyer. I had to put her name up. Heather Heyer was the white lady that was killed in Charlottesville, Virginia. Ran over by white supremacists. Okay, I'm sorry.
Heather Heyer. Okay.
I'm going to show the girl on the train first that Kevin spoke about, then I'll show the other guy.
Black women on the metro here in Washington, surrounded by those folks from the Patriot Front. And then on the left is that classic photo of Elizabeth Eckford surrounded by fellow students at Little Rock Central High School. She is one of the Little Rock Nine. The parallels here, the symmetry here is startling, Michelle.
That photo is probably Pulitzer worthy. It's a little early to start talking about that, but that photo is one instance of a woman on a bus surrounded by people who are wearing masks, who are about to march in Washington carrying Confederate flags. But I see that photo and I see America's workplaces. I see America's school systems. I mean, those men are wearing masks, but they go and they surround women like her in their workplaces. They will go back to a place where they can take off their mask, and then they will be working someplace where their noxious ideas, will be put in place in hiring decisions, in decisions about who gets a mortgage and who doesn't. However, when I look at them marching, trying to project power, I don't see power, I see fear.
Yeah.
I see the projection of fear. I see people who are afraid of a future that has already arrived. They are afraid of an America that is multicultural. They are worried about a multicultural democracy. They are worried about losing power. They want to create an America where white people and white men are dominant. And, America has to then decide, do we want to hold on to our superpower status? Do we want to be prominent in the world, or do we want to be a supremacist nation?
I see exactly what you see when you say you see fear, because they know what they have done with being the majority in this country. And so their concern is that we, black women, brown women, the black and brown folks who at some point will inherit the majority of this country, will do the same thing to them that they have done to us.
This is the photo of the year. This picture was taken today, July 4th, 2026, America's 250th anniversary. This is a photo of a black woman sitting on the DC Metro surrounded by white supremacist members of the Patriot Front. If you've never heard of the Patriot Front, they are a white nationalist organization that was created after the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia in August of 2017. And this is what they're about in their own words. Pause to read. Been deemed a white supremacist hate group by both the Southern Poverty Law Center and the Anti-Defamation League. And if you're more of a visual learner, here is a video of them marching today in Washington, D.C., carrying Confederate flags. This picture is not only representative of what America really is, but it's representative of the black experience in America. A black woman surrounded on all sides by people who would hang her from a tree if they could. People whose identities are concealed because they're your policemen, your lawyers, your teachers, your doctors, and they'll get to go back to work on Monday. Business as usual. As for that black woman, she has to sit there and stare white supremacy in the face and just be silent.
If they're so proud of being white supremacists, why not show your face? If you're so proud, you know what I mean? If you're so proud of what you're doing and you feel so strongly about it, why not show your face? And the reason is because, like that woman said, it's a lot of it. A lot of racism has to do with jealousy. And I'm not just saying that because I'm black, Tiffany, but I was thinking about this the other day. I was driving and I was thinking about America and black Americans, and I mean, the greatest, like most of the greatest people in the world came from black America, right?
Right.
And every day black Americans get up and it's like they're unstoppable, right? They have the greatest entertainers, the greatest sports, the greatest minds, all the inventions that, if you had to look up all the inventions that were stolen from black Americans, and then the white, right? Because they couldn't patent anything because the law said if you're black, you can't own anything. So 99% of all these great inventions, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know Thomas Edison? They said did the light bulb, but he had a piece of glass with nothing shining in it. Or he made some little piece of filament that would go out after like a few minutes. And then here comes the brother and say, hey, why don't you do this? Bang, the light stayed on forever. So the brother actually was the one with the knowledge that kept the light bulb going, but of course he was black, so he couldn't. But I mean, like, I see a lot of jealousy when I see the KKK, when I see those white supremacists marching on the Washington Mall yesterday. I just see a bunch of white men who are afraid. They're scared because if you are so dominant, you don't care about the other person, right? Tiffany, if you went outside and some little girl like 2 feet tall, 50 pounds, I'm gonna kick your ass. You look at her like, really? And you just walk in, right? Because you're not bothered by her. So I see a lot of this white racist stuff going on as white men who are jealous of black men, jealous of black people in general. And they hate our sexuality. That's why you see a lot of black men in Hollywood would tell you the reason they don't let black men be the leading men in a movie, because our presence is just too strong. Our mere presence, we walk into a room and we command attention.
Especially,
right?
yeah.
Black people walk into a room and we command attention just by simply walking into a room. It's just something about the way we move and the way we talk and the way
You got to remember, we bring rhythm and soul to this whole world, especially America. Why you think his little get together was so dry, like a dry ass sandwich?
Oh, I forgot.
You understand what I'm saying? We bring rhythm and soul to this world, and with everything they don't put us through, we still survive. We still are resilient. And I think that makes them mad. But to be honest with you, we don't even pay that much attention to them. And only thing we ask is to leave us alone. Okay? Treat us equally. You understand what I'm saying? We don't ask for a lot. We don't do a lot to give you, but it's like you said, we have an energy that shines, and that's because we are resilient and we've been through so much in our life and we still survived.
Yeah.
They have to, those guys on the National Mall, they said it was a little over 400 of them. That's the head count they gave.
It was 400. I was thinking like 150, but go ahead, 400.
No, they said 400 on the National Park Service said 400. The reason I bring that up, Carl and Tiffany, they have to get a permit from the National Park Service to hold any sort of rally on the National Mall on federal
So they
property.
had a permit to be there, huh?
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. They went and had to fill out paperwork to say why they were there, why they were marching and protesting, and they had to be given a permit to do that. And I don't understand why a group like that is giving, and they say, oh, it's freedom of speech. But if your freedom of speech is hate, then you shouldn't be able to get a permit to preach hate, because Louis Farrakhan had to get a permit for the Million Man March. And over 1 million black men showed up on the National Mall. Until this day, that was one of the most peaceful gatherings, I wouldn't say protests, gatherings the National Mall has ever seen. There was no arrests, no violence. And when everybody left the National Mall that day, they bring out all these giant, I noticed I grew up in DC, so I know what happens on this mall. They bring out these giant trucks with vacuums on them to clean up all the mess left by the crowds. But there was nothing to clean up, because those million black men,
people like cleaning up after themselves.
the
We don't
million
want
black
nobody
men
talking
left
about us.
they left no bottles on the ground.
Right.
They left no cartons on the ground, no food wrappers on the ground. There was nothing to clean up. Those people were so organized, so well respected. Listen to the minister speak that day and all the other speakers that came. There was nothing, no arrest, no violence, no trash to be picked up, nothing. So yeah, I mean, you have to get a permit to do this. So they were given a permit. Somebody made a good point yesterday. I was watching on social media. They said, how come the KKK hasn't been deemed a terrorist group in the United States of America? And why is that? Because they called the Black Panthers a terrorist group and took them out one by one. Huey Newton and his buddies. And Black Panthers was far from a terrorist group. They were just there to protect black neighborhoods, basically, from police brutality. That was their job, to make sure police brutality didn't take place in most black communities. They weren't there for any other reason. They were police in their neighborhoods, but they were considered a terrorist group by the FBI director at the time.
J. Edgar Hoover?
Thank you. Yes, J. Edgar Hoover, who took them out one by one. He had them all assassinated and jailed and taken out. So, but this KKK has been terrorizing black people since Jim Crow days.
Mhm.
The
And
beginning of
that's
Jim Crow, and they've never been considered, never been labeled as a terrorist group in this country, and they're responsible for more deaths, more lynchings, and burning churches, and burning black businesses, and burning black homes. There's a scene in the movie Malcolm X that's accurate, where Malcolm X's father was placed on a railroad and tied to a railroad track and ran over by a train. You know, yeah, ran over by a train, decapitated, and it was done by the KKK because he was a strong black man in his community who stood up to them.
But you
And
knew a black woman took down the KKK too, and that's why you don't see them like they was so outwards. Cause she sued them because they found out now you can hit them in their pockets. This happened in '85. I think they dragged her son all through. I have to look it up. They dragged her son all through the roads and stuff, and she wound up suing them, and they had to owe her for the rest of her life. So, and to your question, what you were saying, Carl, a lot of those men that were covered, a lot of them work for big companies, they lawyers, doctors. They don't want their identity seen. They don't want people to know who they really are. And to be honest, and I told you this before, I heard this white boy say the North never disciplined the South about them turning their back and being traitors. And this is why we are still dealing with the rhetoric of their behavior with this racism, especially in the South. It's ridiculous, you know. And I like what Jane Elliot said. She said, "We are a salad. Everybody is different. We need to treat each other as such, but respect each other's spaces." That's it. That's it. What's wrong with that? Nobody is better than this one, or this one, you know. But because we shine through our pain, that's why we're having so much problems with the oppressor. They don't like that.
well, we are better.
No, oh, you're right. You're 100%
We are
right. Call
the
your
chosen.
opinions on it.
Carl said it best. Walk into a room and light up the room. You know,
That's right.
you know, I always say charisma is something you can't buy. You know, something you're born with. Swag is something you can't buy. It's something you're born with.
Yes.
Talent is something you can't buy. It's something you're born with. You know, we're in most cases are born with all those things, even in our shortcomings. You know, because of all the stuff that happened to us, you know, yeah, we kill each other in our own neighborhoods and we do bad things to each other, but that's all because of all the circumstances that, you know, we go through as Black Americans, right?
Yeah.
So,
Our environment.
but before all that happened, we were like this, right? And we loved each other and we respect each other. Like I always say on this show, I've said 100 times, Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, was a thriving community. And there were other thriving communities with no crime, no drugs, no alcohol, no just thriving business communities with schools and businesses and Black people living and loving and thriving and with every type of business you can think of. And the business that was doing the worst in these places were the jail system, because nobody was going to jail because there wasn't no
Nobody
crime.
had to go to jail.
There was no crime, right? So we were living amongst each other without crime. It wasn't until those towns were burned to the ground and by white supremacists and then all the redlining came in and the Jim Crow laws came in that forced this so-called ghettos that we now live in, that they call ghettos, right? That's what caused all the crime. You know, poverty causes crime, right?
Thank you.
Remember the movie?
Stealing, do all of
Remember the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte? Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. And Dan Aykroyd was this rich guy who was on Wall Street. Eddie Murphy was a homeless bum. And the two rich old white men said, let's trade these guys. And they traded places. They made Eddie Murphy. They took Eddie Murphy and brought him and made him the businessman. And they threw the rich white guy out on the street and he turned into a criminal. He turned to a life of crime, you know, to survive, right? He was all about survival. So even though that was a comedy, that movie is deep as hell, because you think about it, that's really America right there.
That's Black people, period. We always in survival mode.
Watch Trading Places. Watch Trading Places the hidden message in that is diabolical, man. It's just basically saying this is America. We do everything to keep these black people down, but we do the same thing to a white man. They just rich white men do the same thing to Dan Aykroyd, who's a rich white man. They took him and took all his, they froze his credit cards. They did everything and threw his ass out in the streets with nothing. And he turned to a life of crime to survive. And they took Eddie, gave him a shower, put a Brooks Brother $2,000 suit on him and put him in the business world. And he started thriving, you know? And they were like, whoa, this Negro's running our company pretty good, you know? But they ain't say Negro, right? They ain't say Negro, you know, they said, right? But he's running his business pretty good. It just goes to show. It just that movie is deep. I love that's one of my favorite movies, Trading Places. Trading Places, yes. Great movie.
Yeah, so what a Rick Jenkins comic from Boston is I hope he said when the mall was evacuated for weather, hundreds of Trump people had to shelter in the American
Day Museum. Yes. Yeah, it's true. I saw it. It was online, and I was like, "Isn't this something?" Yeah, y'all need shelter always from us black people, don't you? Yes, they've had to run in there because they had to evacuate because they said rain. I think rain was coming or anything like that, or the rain was coming, and they had to run in to the museum. Yes, I saw it.
Oh my God!
Funny, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Isn't it? All the races running into the Black Museum for shelter.
Yeah.
Say thank you. They should have went in and learned something.
I'm gonna read this one comment, and Joey from YouTube, you know, we hear this all the time, every Sunday. You know, here's what he said. Yeah, well, that's all you all do, live off the past. You know.
Yeah, go ahead, Carl. First of all, to this gentleman, yesterday is not that much of the past. Yesterday we had 400 white men in masks marching on the National Mall of Washington, D.C., my hometown, by the way. I'm born and raised. The National Mall that represents this country, blocks from the White House, blocks from the U.S. Capitol, and these 400 men marched through the streets yesterday. Yesterday, not 1960, not 1950, not 1940, not 1930 or 1920. Yesterday, July 4th, 2026, 250 years of this country, and these 400 men marched through the National Mall with Confederate freaking flags.
Yeah,
Confederate flags.
Yeah.
You know what Confederate flags stand for? Those are men who want to take this country back to slavery. Confederate flags stand for the Confederation of the slavery. Those guys want to go back to slavery. General Lee fought for slavery, and he lost. The South lost. And those guys are still walking around those flags. They're traitors to this country. All 400 of them. And that was 400. There's probably another 2 million of the people that think like that or more. I'm being generous. I'm being generous with my thinking right now.
Yeah,
it's probably
you are.
more than 4 million people that think like those 400 men yesterday. So we got 400 on the National Mall, another 500 that think like that, walking around the United States of America, who wants to see Carl, Tiffany, and my black ass in the being slaves again with my family. You know, we're not supposed to be upset about that.
Well,
I think they just found somebody message, some white man message, and he was like saying that he wished people were slaves again. I say,
you know what's so funny? You know, it's not funny, but if somebody marched on the National Mall, if 400 men marched on the National Mall yesterday with Hitler T-shirts on, saying all Jews need to go back, we need to take Jews back to the Holocaust. Do you know the outrage that we would see in the media right now? It would be crazy. Like I turn on CNN or Fox News or MSNBC, anything, it'll be nuts. The reporting against, anti-reporting against and denouncement of that will be at another level.
Yeah,
I don't see the Republicans. Anybody see any Republicans come out yesterday and say, I denounce this? Because you know these are, you know they are Democrats. Ain't none of these guys in those masses are Democrats. Those are all Trump supporters. The guy who just came on our show just now and said that's how what y'all always talk about. I'm sure he voted for Trump also. Now tell me I'm lying.
It's funny though, Kev. It's funny that they tell us we live off the past, right? But yet still, remember the Catholic school boys who were molested 75 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
They no one said they're living off the past. The Epstein girls who got molested when they were teenagers, now they're women in their 40s and 50s. Nobody said they're living off the past. If you know,
I got one even better for you. Nobody told Bill Cosby's victims they were living on the past.
Right.
And they came out 50, 60 years later.
Hey, we still hear about O.J. Simpson every day. Matter of fact, the Buffalo Bills have a new stadium opening up in this September, this upcoming football season. They built this new beautiful multi-billion-dollar stadium up in Buffalo, New York. And O.J. Simpson will not be part of their inductee into their Hall of Fame. They have a Hall of Fame, Walk of Fame for all their great football players. The greatest football player to ever play for the Buffalo Bills is O.J. Simpson. His name would not be included into that Hall of Fame. There's been a lot of backlash for that online lately too. O.J. got a lot of people that said, no matter what you think of O.J. or what he may have did or what y'all think he did, he should be. I'm surprised to see all the people, and there were white people that are saying O.J. should be inducted into your Hall of Fame. Without O.J. Simpson put the Buffalo Bills on the map, and he is the greatest football player they ever had. And for them to shove him off like that, and the man was found not guilty by the court of law that you guys created. When it doesn't work for you guys, it's bad. Like O.J. Simpson, on your system, was found not guilty by a jury of his peers. And you guys aren't happy with the system that you made. We didn't make up the system. You made it the system. And he won by y'all system, but he's a bad guy. Now, he can't be inducted into the Football Hall of Fame in Buffalo because he was found not guilty. So, unbelievable.
Matthew from YouTube. What's up, Matthew? He asked a question. So how can we move forward? Matthew, we're trying to move forward. But you can clearly see by the comments we're getting that there's some people who don't want us to move forward. You can clearly...
They want to be quiet. They want it to be swept up under the rug.
You can
I can answer that. We can move forward when we have a president of the United States that did come out and publicly announce what happened yesterday on the National Mall. It didn't happen. We can move forward when our congressmen on both sides of the aisle come out and say, this cannot happen in the United States of America. You know, there were no black men in 100-degree weather walk around with masks on with Confederate flags. They're all white guys. Somebody know who these guys are. That's why they wear masks, because they are doctors, they are lawyers, they're police officers, they're ICE agents, they're bus drivers, they're grocery store clerks. You know, they're your dentists. You know, they're your next door neighbor. You know, these guys are fit into our society. You know, they're part of our society. They work with us, and we don't even know what they think. You know, I'm a stand-up comic. I remember performing at a nudist colony one time, and it was all. And I didn't have to be nude, by the way, Tiffany. I told my agent I didn't want to be nude. I didn't. I worked in my clothes, but when I got there to this secret society up in the mountains of Pennsylvania, there were hundreds of nude white people walking around.
And I know that was a sight.
It was pretty disgusting, but butt naked, walking around, because most of them were senior citizens, right?
Oh my God, you saw old balls.
Just walking around naked, and it's just and the guy that runs the thing said, and then these people are your next door neighbors. These people are the doctors, lawyers, police. These people pay a lot of money to come to this camp and walk around nude, by the way. It wasn't no cheap place to go. Like, they paid money to be a part of this exclusive club, right? A lot of money to get him to this club and be a part of this secret nudist society that they live. But he's like, they're dentists, they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're people that make a lot of money. You know, everyday people that you think wouldn't spend thousands of dollars to go walk around nude at a nudist colony is the guy that work on your teeth, basically, you know, at the dentist's office. So, yeah, I mean, my point I'm making is these white supremacists, these are people, these are our next door neighbors, you know, for all we know. And that's why they hide their faces. We move forward when people who aren't racist, it's not black people's fight. We can't fight no more. Like that song said, we're tired.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do.
We're tired of fighting.
It
Yes,
takes
that
this
part.
gentleman who just made the comment call, it takes him to raise his kids not to grow up like these fools walking down the National Mall yesterday, you know, and because it all starts with kids, you know. Dylan Roof walked into a church, prayed with what 10, 11 black people, and then slaughtered them, left one person alive so they can tell the story. Dylan Roof at the time of that murder was 17 years old. How do you have that much hate in your heart at 17, 18 years old?
His family failed him. His
to go in
parents,
and shoot.
failed him.
That's the point I'm making. But then it might not be the family also, Tiffany, because a lot of times you get this hate online. You learn a lot of people like the Charlie Kirks of the world, who was paid, who was a multimillionaire, was paid millions of dollars to go to college campuses and recruit smart young people and teach them hate. Charlie Kirk, the day he was murdered, was speaking in front of hundreds of an all-white crowd of college students. These are brilliant young people getting an education at a high-class college in Utah. And he's there, and he had thousands of people show up to hear him speak. And his whole speech is about how bad we are, how bad black people, how violent we are, how much crime is in our society.
And it was his own that shot him. Isn't that something?
With gangbangers, with gangbangers. And then he's killed by a white guy while he's preaching that we're gangbangers.
We have
the Charlie Kirks of the world is the problem, you know. That's why we still have. I mean, it's a modern day. You know, these guys hand out pamphlets. They go to these college campuses, hand out pamphlets, the KKK pamphlets. You know, give people. You know, they're recruiting people online. I read an article. I'll make it real quickly so you guys can speak. I read an article that they're now going into these video games. They're recruiting a lot of these kids on these video games. A lot of these kids into all these video games online, and a lot of those ads that pop up are ads from these white supremacist groups.
I believe it. I believe it.
All these young kids, these young white kids, I should say, into this white supremacy ideology. You know, it's so that's what's going on.
A lot of them is smart too. A lot of them are smart, Kev, because I be seeing white kids putting their parents in check online too, especially when they go in racist. So that's another reason why you hear Trump and a lot of them people be trying to get the Black history out of school, or they want to erase history, because these young people are not dumb. They're very smart. I think they call it Gen X or whatever they are. They will tell you how they feel and do what and they do not care. And they will break stuff down. So we have a generation that is smart. But imagine if they had the information to know where they came from, where they started from. They will look at life so totally different. And to be honest, they probably don't want to go to jail. They want to get education. They're going to want to do certain things that's going to be able to help themselves and help their community if they have education about where they came from. And that's supposed to be American history. And that's Black and white history together.
Two things can be true. Two things can be true, Tiffany. But check this out. A lot of those guys had those masks on yesterday. I guarantee you, most of those guys are probably under 30.
Yeah, I believe
we got Dick Toes from YouTube who wants to jump in on the conversation. Dick, I'm going to put the link. You don't have to do video. You can just do audio if you choose. But I'm going to put the link in the chat, and you can just click on that, and that'll bring you right to the chat. So there you go. So Dick Toes, there you go. The StreamYard link should be in the chat. Is it? Yes, there it is. So feel free to jump on. I think he said he wants to defend the people who are marching on the he wants to defend the people who are marching on the Washington Mall.
Hey, let him defend him, man. We're respectful. There's not an argument here. He want to come in and defend them. Let him come in and defend them, Carl. You know when to cut.
Yeah. Okay.
It's only 3 minutes. We want you to express yourself, but you only have 3 to 5 minutes.
All right. So come on when you're ready. I'll put it in again in case you missed it. We are very interested to hear your point of view. Or anyone else who wants to jump on, please be respectful. Of course, you can see we are not attacking anyone, but we would definitely
we're attacking white supremacists. I'm sorry.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, if you're for white supremacy, if you're okay, I think it was I'll find the quote. If you're okay with my demise, then I really don't really care to hear what you have to say. Because if you're okay with the demise of my family, my friends, on this panel, Carl and Tiffany, their families, their loved ones, my kid, my daughter, then, my sister, my brother, my mother, then what good are you? I mean, because those guys yesterday want a white America. That's what they were marching for. And they're fighting for an all white America. That's what Stephen Miller, who works for Donald Trump, wants, an all white America. That's what Steve Bannon wants, who works for Donald Trump, an all white America. That's what Russell Vought wants, who's also an ally of Donald Trump, who's behind Project 25, and Kevin, I forgot Kevin's last name. Also, they want an all-white America. That's what Project 2025 was all about, was make America great again, is just code for make America white again. Like,
Tiffany,
first of all, you guys didn't even get along. When America was all white, you guys didn't even get along. You had a civil war.
Hey, Tiffany, can you see the link I put in the chat? Dick Toll said he's on your channel, so he can't see the link can you copy it and put it on your channel? Is that possible? All right, Dick, hold on. Tiffany's gonna hook you up.
So you said copy the link and put it. Okay.
Yeah, he says he's watching the show through your channel, through your
Tiffany's people, huh?
Yeah. So to the guy who said, how can we move forward? I think Black people have been trying to move forward for decades, for centuries. And every time we try to move forward, there's always someone in our way. So the burden is not on us to try to move forward. The burden is on you to get out of our way. Because every time we take a step forward, there's someone,
There were no Black people marching on the National Mall on America's 200th birthday going, let's make America all Black. Like, we don't care, man. We could care less about making America all Black. All we doing is every day, like Tiffany always say, we're just trying to survive, take care of our families, pay our bills, live our best lives. We're not trying to make America all Black. We're not trying to get rid of the Spanish people. We're not trying to get rid of the Asian people. We're not trying to get rid of the white people. We're like, this is a melting pot, man. America's a melting pot. This land belongs to nobody unless you are an American Indian to begin with, I mean, we were born and raised in church and school that Christopher Columbus discovered America. How you gonna discover something when people already lived here?
And also, I'm going to show this. People like this, the people in this video, which is a video that happened this year, these people are not in the minority. So I don't know how we're going to move forward with people like this still in our society.
Where were you at just now? Where did you just come from? You just came from right there, right? You just walked over here and you just decided you wanted to come give me a fucking problem today, right?
No, I was talking to the two of you. If you're not together,
but
then
but it doesn't matter. But why did you come over here? Did you not see that guy over there up in that post right there tell us to come over here? No. Did you not see him come over to us and tell us this is where we had to be? Did you see the guy come out of that booth right there?
Are you gonna let me talk?
Because I don't fucking know you, and I don't know why you came up to me like that.
He told you you couldn't be right there. That's common sense, basic humanity. Is you don't go, even though you're allowed to, right where there's.
If I'm allowed to, I'm allowed to. The kids gonna run wherever they want to run. If I'm allowed to do something, I'm allowed to do something. Yeah, don't come over here trying to police people. If that's where he told me I need to be, if this is where he told me I need to be, that's where I'm at. And then you decided that you were going to police even more and come over here and say, you know what, I don't like where you're at. I want you to move, right?
Yeah, I think this is a poor choice for you.
This is a poor choice for you, buddy.
No, because he didn't tell you.
You ain't got no clue.
He didn't tell you.
You ain't got no clue how bad of a choice it is. He didn't tell me I had to come right here. You want to walk with me over here, right here to this post right here? You want to walk with me over there right now?
So he didn't say there.
You want me to walk over there with that post right now?
I just talked to him.
Do you want to go over there?
He did not say.
Come on, let's go. Yeah, you just talked to him?
Let's
Come
go.
on, let's go. Go get him. Go get him.
No, you said you wanted to go, so let's go.
I'm
You
where
say,
I
hey,
need to be.
let's walk over there. Oh, I don't want to walk over there with you.
I want you to go walk over there.
I already
dummy.
did.
I want you to walk over here. He told us where to be.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have sent you over here. Where's your badge?
He said,
who are you? Where's your badge?
I'm fire department as
Where's
well.
your badge? You got no fucking pockets. You're talking about you're the fire department.
Yes.
This is the fucking beach. This is not a fire.
That's right. So what he said.
So
lifeguards are part of the fire department.
if he wanted you to come over here and tell me, so you did it on your own. You just bothering me for no fucking reason, right? Because you ain't got nothing else to do today.
No, because I don't want people to get hurt here.
Guess what? If this is where somebody told us fishing is allowed, then maybe they shouldn't be here. Maybe you should talk to the little kids that's running back and forth. Are you doing that?
Yeah, that makes common sense.
That makes a lot of sense, don't it? Because the guy told us where we were allowed to fish.
Yes.
Did you not see that?
Out of that area, which that means you could go down another 5 miles.
I can stay right the fuck here if I want to.
I know you can.
So why don't you go about your business? Why don't you go about your business, bro?
Lack of IQ.
Why don't you go about your business?
I know what I'm dealing with here.
Go about your business. Do whatever it is you were doing before you came over to me. Go about your business. Go about your... What'd you say? What'd you say?
You heard me.
I didn't hear you. You said what?
No, hey.
Say it again?
No, you.
What'd you say? Niggers? You said niggers?
Are going to be niggers.
Niggers are going to be niggers? Niggers are going to be niggers?
Absolutely.
Niggers are going to be niggers.
Yeah,
100%.
you back up right now.
100%. Niggers are going to be niggers. 100%. That's what you said, right? On camera.
100%.
I got you.
You got me.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
100%.
I got you.
So that brother was fishing. The lifeguard came and told him, okay, you can fish, but go down to this area right here. You can fish right here. That's where the brother went. And then this white man came and started harassing him. And then you see at the end, his wife came and said what she said. How can we move forward?
My thing is, why, leave us alone. That should be what's coming up. Leave us alone. Why did they think that they should come over there? Do they own the beach? That's my point. That's what's, I don't understand what's going on. I don't think that's what's being taught in their home. You don't touch nobody. You don't go over and bother people. Don't our family members taught us that? Yeah. We keep our hands to ourselves. We mind our goddamn business so you won't get your ass in no trouble. I mean, we see that they're not being raised the way we were being raised, but they continuously bother us, but we want to move on. Okay.
All right. We got Dick Toes on the panel. Welcome, brother. How are you?
And what's going on?
Dick Toes. Who is that? Who is that? Is that a former president as your profile?
Yeah, that's Thomas Jefferson. The owner of 600 slaves, by the way, enslaved people, I should say, not slaves, enslaved people.
Absolutely based.
What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Based.
Welcome to the show.
So I wanna lead off with this question, right? Is that obviously everyone cares about their own race and their own group, correct? Everyone has an affinity for their own over others. In y'all's opinion, and in y'all's point of view, and in your worldview, what are white people allowed to do that allows us to collectivize for our group interests? What is and I'm asking y'all, not legally or whatever, but from y'all's point of view, what are we allowed to do to pursue our group interests?
That's a good question. Who want to go first? You want me to go first?
Okay, Kev, you go, then I'll go.
All right. I'll start by saying that you had a almost 400-year head start for your group. You forgot, maybe you haven't forgot.
So then you admit America is a white nation then?
No, America was never a white nation. It was the white man.
Then we didn't have a 400-year head start.
Well, you came to this land and you took out the American Indians. Yeah, the American Indians. You came here.
And that was mainly through smallpox, which at the time germ theory was not even a thing. So it was a literal accident or happenstance in terms of smallpox.
Smallpox was not an accident, sir. Smallpox was.
Yes, it was. No one knew about germ theory back then. No one knew about bacterial warfare or anything like that. It was not even a thing.
I could prove you wrong on that, but okay,
and
continue.
In fact, we were trying to help them, and we gave them blankets. Is how they got it. It was a total mistake. Like to think that We had the
Yes, sir.
scientific knowledge of germ theory back then is absolutely wild.
You're not serious with that argument, are you?
No, he is serious. The argument that the British and the Dutch came here on boats with guns. They saw the American Indians and say, "Hey, we want to be your friends. We're going to give you blankets, and we don't know that the blankets have germs in them, and they're going to kill millions of you off, by the way." And and we don't know about it because we use these same blankets and we didn't get smallpox. Okay.
So did we know about it or not?
I 100% disagree with your point, but
So you're saying that scientifically germ theory was the thing back then and we knew we were giving them smallpox?
yes, I am definitely saying that. I've done my research. I'll prove it to you. If you join us back next week, I'll have some actual facts on that for you, for sure. Trust me on that one, my friend. But I don't want to argue about it because I don't have the facts in front of me right now, but I will pull it up because I have done some research on smallpox and what it did to the, but back to my point, your head start on America was the enslavement of millions of Africans that came here against their will in ships. Many didn't even make it here. Many were murdered on the ships. Many committed suicide jumping off the ships. But the millions that did get to the shore were used as cattle slavery, sold off to be enslaved people and build the wealth of America. Do you know?
So did we build America or not? Like
slavery.
Did we drive the building of America or not?
Drive the building of America? No, black people work for free.
Because you guys like to play this game where it's
you
like
ever played a game of Monopoly before, man? No, black people work for free for almost 400 years and didn't get any money. You know what generational wealth is? Let me tell you about generational wealth. White men in New Orleans. I'm gonna pull up New Orleans for to start this off. They say 7 out of 10 white men in New Orleans back in the 1800s were millionaires.
So slavery is what
you know why they were
drives prosperity.
You know what a millionaire is in 1800s?
Slavery is what drives prosperity.
First of all, $1 million today probably ain't a lot of money, but back in the 1800s, $1 million is a lot of money, bro. And that
slavery drives prosperity. Is that your argument?
Yeah, when George Washington lives in a mansion and has Thomas Jefferson, who you have on your screen right there's your screensaver, has 600 enslaved people that's working nonstop,
right.
7 days a week.
So the thing is, slavery's been around the world since the beginning of time, and every other race has actually divulged into slavery more than we have. Why hasn't everyone else been as successful as us? Why hasn't everyone else been able to prosper as much as us off slavery?
Sir, that's not true. And everybody.
How did white people build Europe?
Sir, everybody pulls that card out, man. Let me tell you something.
How did white
slavery
people build
has
Europe?
been all over the world, but cattle slavery is a different animal.
How did white people build Europe?
I don't know how white people build. I know how they built America. I live in the United States of America. We're talking about United States of America. We're talking about slavery in the United States of America. We're not talking about Europe. We're talking about.
Do you know what percentage of the Atlantic slave trade came to the modern day United States?
The wealth that was built in the United States of America was built.
Yeah, I'm getting somewhere. You're jealous of our wealth. We understand you guys are jealous of our wealth. We've been hearing it my entire life. Yeah.
We would never be jealous of your wealth because we are the wealth. We are the black.
No, you're not. You guys are a net negative economically. You guys are the biggest drain on our economy.
Y'all made money.
Y'all are net negative. Y'all are like minus $750,000 per head.
What? What?
Y'all are a net negative. Like per person, per black person, you average out to about $750,000 in debt. You take out of the system more than you put in.
Really? Wow.
Yes, really. 100%. And I want to get back to the Atlantic slave trade. Do you know what percentage of the Atlantic slave trade came to the modern day United States?
I'm all ears for this bullshit. Go ahead, sir.
About 10%. Do you know how much went to Brazil? In the Caribbean, about 50%.
More blacks went to Brazil, but we're talking about.
Okay, so why weren't they successful? Why didn't they succeed? Why didn't they build empires that were like ours?
What empire you had? Your ancestors had.
You're complaining about the United States and how much wealth we have. So let's start with there. How come they didn't build something as good as the United States? Why doesn't Brazil look like the United States?
We're not complaining about the wealth, sir. Let me talk, Tiffany. We're not complaining about the wealth of the United States. This is the richest country in the world. We're complaining about is that we didn't get our 40 acres and a mule fairly when we built this country on enslaved people built this country. I don't know. I grew up in Washington D.C. The White House, the Capitol. When I passed those buildings, they're all built by the hands of enslaved people. They weren't built by white men. The railroads were built by most of the railroads in this country were built by Asians.
No. Only about 700 miles was built by the Asians. Over it was like 4,000 to 6,000 miles that essentially the Irish built. That gets so blown out of proportion.
Irish and
Asians built like 5% of our railroads. And that's
Irish and Italians also were considered not white back in those days. Also, it wasn't until the censors came in when they wanted to actually get the Italians to call themselves white and get the Irish to call themselves white. So, and the reason for that was they needed to get
1790 Naturalization Act says that this is a country for free white people that included the Irish and the Italians.
Sir, you don't know your history. You're jumping around.
I do know my history. It's called the
for your own
1790
convenience.
Naturalization Act. It's called the 1790 Naturalization Act, where anyone who wanted to become a citizen there of this country had to be a free white man of good moral character. That included the Irish, that included the Italians, that included essentially everyone in Europe. And the only reason I heard y'all earlier talking about how white people used to fight each other, those were largely over religious differences, being Catholic, Protestant, etc. It wasn't really so much a racial thing.
Did you do what?
No, that's what got me.
And further, I'm not done. Further,
the Jewish and Italian mafia, the Jewish and Italian mafia that started in the 1920s all the way up to the 80s.
Right, we had our own differences, but if you notice, we've all assimilated and we've gotten with the program, except for non-whites. And Jews aren't white, by the way.
I never said they were.
What are they?
Jews are Jewish. They're to literally be Semitic is to be like of Arab descent, Middle Eastern. Literally, they're from Israel, right? That's in the Middle East.
They want to be white.
Well, no, they want to be white only to subvert us and say we have things like white privilege. But then when you say, oh, well, you have white privilege too, all of a sudden they'll be like, no, I'm Jewish. It doesn't count. Try to get a Jew to admit that the Holocaust was a white genocide. They'll never go for that.
Let me ask you a question, sir, because we can sit here and go back and forth about the history. I know.
I want to get back to the original question. What are we allowed to do for our own interests?
I want to ask you one question. What would you like to see? Because obviously you think Black people are a hindrance in this country. So what do you want to see?
Isn't it obvious, though? I'm not trying to be rude, but isn't it obvious?
No, it's not, because last time I checked, 90% of the crime in this country is done by white men. You show
if
me.
You want to count things like misdemeanors, that's like saying Chinese people commit the most crime in China.
Hold on for a minute,
You guys commit most of our murders.
Are you saying Timothy McVeigh
most of our murders?
Timothy McVeigh blowing up a building is a misdemeanor?
Whatever you can point to in terms of a Dylan Roof or a Timothy McVeigh, you guys have done 50-fold since then. Did you know that? Do you know that every 2 to 4 years, white people kill the same amount of white people that the KKK killed Black people during their entire existence, and that literally comes from a Black researcher. Every 2 to 4 years, you guys kill as much as us as we did in our entire existence of the KKK.
No, you don't even believe what the words that just came out your mouth.
That's a mind-blowing stat.
Since you want to do your homework, have you done your homework on how many white people kill white people?
Have you seen the interracial rape rates?
I think white men probably rape more Black people.
You can't even find me. You can't even find me 20 cases of white men raping Black women in like the last 10 years. I can find one every single day of a Black person raping a white woman. You do it by the thousands every year. The thousands every year.
Hold on a second.
Of course you don't believe it because you guys are in denial.
All right, hold on a second. Let me show this video. Hold on.
So for all the racists on here who love to talk about black and brown predators or the dangers of undocumented folks, can you please explain why nearly 80% of the people who produce, distribute, or possess child SA material are white men, and almost all of them are U.S. citizens? And by the way, you can check that data for yourself. So you see this? This is the U.S.
I'd love to
Sentencing
actually
Commission's
acknowledge this.
interactive data analyzer,
That's Tim
which
Wise,
is
by the
a
way,
nifty
isn't it?
little
Is that
tool
Tim
that
Wise?
lets you look up stats on any federal crime category overall, and then you can break it down by race. And then you can
I've already heard
calculate
this,
the
guys. We don't
percentage
need to
of
listen to
that
the
crime
video. I already
done
have a response.
by each racial
You don't have
group
to listen
for
to the
every
video.
year,
It's
going
a waste
all the
of
way
time.
back to 2015. Or you can do it for a
We've all heard
range
this.
of years. So I did that for child SA
I
material
can just
prosecutions
respond.
from
We don't. I already know
2015
what the
all the way.
argument is.
All
Can you
right.
guys just respond?
Is he wrong? Is he wrong?
So the
Is he-
sexual assault and things like that, we are essentially at our population average. I will own that one. The sexual assault. Further, let me continue.
No,
though.
we're talking about
That
pedophilia. He's talking
No,
about
sorry, not sexual assault. Let me get back to sexual assault. In terms of pedophilia and pornographic images that are of that nature, we are at our population average. So if that's the one category you guys want to get on me, that's fine. But let me say something. When it comes to actual child molestation, you guys and Hispanics are off the fucking rails compared to us. When it actually comes to hurting children and physically harming them, you guys are in another stratosphere.
Where's
see how I own the bad things we did? You see how I own them and I take ownership of it, and then
you did not own it. You kind of try to say it in a nice.
I said
way.
We're at our population average for pedophilia. If that's what you want to say.
80% of you are pedophiles, and that's your average. What does that say about you? 80%.
I'm not sure it's quite 80%, but that's fine. Because they also
it's
that includes
higher.
all Arabs. That includes all Arabs. That includes all Hispanics.
Let's talk about.
So if you actually were to
mass
filter it down
shooters.
to only non-Hispanic white people, it'd be even lower.
Well, let me answer your question. The first question you asked.
What do you think about the child molestation rate I just told you about? You and Hispanics are in another stratosphere compared to white people.
Where's your evidence? You provide no. Tell me where can we go to see that evidence? Where I have a pen.
I can send the graph if there's a way to in chat. If you guys do images in chat.
I'm not sure about that, but tell me where I can go to see this information that you have. That we are.
Where does everyone keep? Where do they all keep? Where do they all keep info like that? It's the same place you got the pedophilia stat from. It's from the government statistics, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, the .gov, all that shit. It's been like this for decades, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, do you guys admit you commit over half our murders? Do you guys even admit that?
No, we can't admit that because it's not true.
That is not.
It's not true. It's not true. It's not true.
All right, what about 40%? Do you guys do 40%?
No, we're not gonna do none of it because you
30%. What percentage of murders do y'all do?
Pointing out,
what percentage of murders do y'all do? Tell me.
Yeah. Okay. When the last time? What's the lady who drove her kids into the water? What's the guy who?
Do you know how they got that mass shooting statistic? This is going to be an educational course for y'all. Do you know where they got that mass shooting statistic?
It's been going on forever.
Do you know where they got that mass shooting statistic? Do you know where? They got it from Mother Jones' diary. Do you know how she did it? Do you know how she did it? She if you go down to the bottom of the study, the original study that came out that Mother Jones' diary quoted, at the very bottom of that study, you will find out that they left out all gang and economic related warfare. That is essentially a way to sweep under the rug the fact that black people do the most mass shootings. Now, what I will admit is that when it comes to white people and we do a mass shooting, it is very antisocial. It is very antisocial. We do it in such a provocative way. I will admit that, and we have better high scores than y'all. But again, y'all should take a lesson of that, and if it ever turns on y'all, just know that we are much more efficient than you.
Dude, I have no idea what you just said, man. Hey, Carl, I can't take it no more, man. Because we can't learn from each other. If the gentleman, we're glad you came on the show.
You guys don't even admit the murder rate that you guys do, and I admit that we do the pedophilia at our rates. I admitted that when we do antisocial shootings, they're very provocative, or they're done
when you start to take responsibility for your government that redlined.
So it is our government. It is our government in our country. You're going to have to pick a lane. You're going to have to pick a lane.
To the show, sir. I'm not allowing you to listen to this show. But earlier in the show, we pointed out. Is it our country
or everyone else's? You're going to have to decide for yourself.
We pointed out Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, a place that had thousands of black people living, and there were other cities like that around America that had thriving black communities. There was no drugs.
If people want, they can do a deep dive on.
There were no child molestation.
They can do a deep dive on Black Wall Street. It's nothing like people.
It was nothing. What happened was jealous white people came in, burnt these towns down, destroyed these black communities, just killed black people, babies, women, and children, and men. Then they built these towns back. They redlined them. They put in the worst schools, the worst hospitals, the worst everything, a lack of food. We wouldn't get bank loans to black people. They made these communities poor. And with poverty comes crime. So yeah, there was a lot of crime, but it was
That's
caused
not true
by
either.
poverty
The poverty causes crime is not
I
true
made
either.
the perfect
You can
example
look up a
about
study called you can look up a study paper called Race and Economic and an Integrative Perspective, and essentially it shows that black
Who's it written
people
by? David Duke?
amongst let me
He's great,
finish
man.
amongst the richest households commit the same crime as white people and amongst the poorest households. So it's actually not money or socioeconomic status. This is why, like in trailer parks, the murder rate isn't as high as the ghetto. Yeah,
Really?
that one. Yeah,
Thank you
that one
very
hit home,
much
huh?
for coming on.
No, that didn't
Thank
hit
you
home
very
because
much.
that didn't hit home because
What are
people in
white
the trailer
people allowed
park.
to do? You never answered the question.
No,
What can we do? What are we
do
allowed to
enough,
do?
darling.
I'll give you some advice. I'll give you some advice.
What are we allowed to do?
Stop thinking you're better than everybody and everybody can get along. How about that?
Well, I
Start
look
that
at
for
what we
start.
build and I look at what y'all build, and it's just an objective measurement.
Well, what did you build, sir? Tell us real quickly.
We
before we
built
let you go.
Western civilization. Have you ever heard of Western civilization? Have you heard
You
of that?
built Western civilization. That's the
It's
problem.
the place
See,
where
that's the
everyone's trying
problem.
to go right now.
That's the problem. You want to
So
take
do you want
credit.
segregation?
You want to take.
Are
You
we
want to
both
take credit
advocating
for
for segregation?
I think Dr. King, before he was murdered by a white guy, by the way, not a black guy.
Exactly.
I think
You
Dr.
want to
King,
keep
before he was
living
murdered,
around us.
I think Dr.
Exactly. You
King,
want to
before he
keep
was
living
murdered,
around us.
before Dr. King was murdered, I think he agreed with you, sir, that we probably should
Because
have
deep
stayed
down,
unsegregated.
yeah,
You're
we probably
absolutely
should
right.
have.
So we
Because deep
finally
down,
agree
you
on
know that
something.
we don't need y'all, but y'all need us.
Oh, and
That's
you
just where the
next time,
rubber. That's just where
and
the
you're
rubber
welcome to
meets the
join us
road.
again because we love
I'm
the conversation. Look, you're welcome to join us again, but before we let you go, talk about all the black towns that were buried underwater by white people. Let's start with Central Park, for example. That's now a beautiful Central Park.
Central
But it
Park
was a
5.
black-
You want
it
to
was
start
a
with
bl-
those guys? You want to start with the Central Park 5?
You mean the innocent guys that didn't do anything? Yeah, those
Yeah, I'm
guys.
sure you
Okay.
believe that. Yeah, I'm sure you believe that. We don't. We didn't rape nobody. We didn't rape nobody.
Oh my God! All right, with that you got to go, bro. Because now you're starting to be ignorant, and we can't handle that. We appreciate you coming
Well,
on,
y'all
man.
talk shit about white people. You can't be mad when you get the same energy you give.
We don't talk shit about white people. We talk shit about people who don't
Oh,
want to live
come
in one
on,
under this
dude.
country, man.
Come on, we don't have to bullshit each other. You know what I mean?
Let me answer the question that
I probably have more white friends than you have black friends, so let's stop that, okay? So
That doesn't
you
change
probably
anything about the
you don't
argument.
have no black friends. You don't have no black people in
I
your
grew up
world.
playing basketball, dog. I got plenty of black friends. I grew up playing basketball my entire life in the hood and everywhere else.
Paul, please answer him. Please answer him.
All right, let me. You asked, what can white people? What was your original question?
No. What? No. Now, what can we do? What are we allowed to do from your guys' point of view? What is acceptable to y'all?
This is just my opinion. It seems like everything that white people want to do always involves somehow getting in black people's way, preventing us from moving forward, killing us. You know what I mean?
So we're not allowed to do anything as a collective.
You're not allowed to kill us. No, you're not allowed to kill us. No, that would not be good.
Dude, we're not. I mean, the fact you can't even admit the interracial murder rate or just your guys' murder rate at all, like, there's a huge disconnect here. Where this is why we can't have fruitful conversations because there's literally decades
Sir, if you believe that more black people are killing white people,
murder.
sir, if you believe that more black people are harming white people, then this conversation is going to go nowhere. I mean, what videotape? Roll the freaking videotape of Rodney King. Roll the videotape of the '60s with Dr. King being beat in water hose.
Singular data points do not outweigh
Let me ask you
the
a
trend.
question. They found a black woman. They found a black woman last week hanging from a tree on Juneteenth. I'm sure she wasn't hung by black people. But let me make a point. How many times have you heard on the news or social media or in your lifetime, however you are, where black men dragged a white boy up in the woods and hung him? Matter of fact, they used to hang people at the church back in the old days, back in the 40s, 30s, and 50s.
Do you see how like all of your examples though are like in the past? It's like a blood guilt that we'll never be able to quench with you. We'll never be able to satisfy you.
How come I think you were one of the guys on the mall yesterday in 100-degree weather wearing a mask?
Yeah, let's get back to that. You know that? Did you see that picture of the black chick on the bus that was surrounded by them?
Oh, black woman. Yes, I saw her. Black woman.
Yeah,
Yes.
you notice how she didn't get stabbed in the neck and die?
No, she didn't.
Oh my God.
Yeah, crazy, right? One random black guy is more violent than a busload of white nationalists.
Really?
Yeah, she didn't get stabbed in the neck and bleed out. Dude, you are seriously delusional if you don't know anything about the interracial murder rates.
I'm ready to.
Okay, Carl, we got to go. Peace.
All right, Dick. Thank you very much. I didn't get to
I'll come
answer.
in whenever y'all have another conversation. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
I didn't get to answer your question, but
You can still answer his question, but he can go off now.
You can answer his question without listening to that bullshit. Oh, God, Carl.
Listen, it is. I've said this on the show many times, Dick. People like you are who you are. You believe what you believe. I believe that you inherently are racist, and it's in your blood. It's in your DNA. You can't help it.
In-group preferences are like that with everybody. I love my people the same way you guys love your people. The difference is you guys don't accept the fact that we're allowed to do that, and it's praised whenever you guys do it.
But here's my point, Dick. Your loving your people always include killing us. Why does it have to include? Why?
No, actually, it doesn't. Actually, it does. We built Europe just fine without y'all.
You're loving. Whenever white people say they love their race, it always includes eliminating another race. They want to eliminate the Jews. They want to eliminate the Latinos. They want to eliminate the Mexicans. It always.
I think eliminate is strong. We just don't want to have to be forced to live around them, which is what all of you guys are doing. Like I asked you, are you guys for segregation? No, you're not. You still want to live around white people. You still want our technology. You still want our infrastructure. You still want our economy. You still want our military defense. You want everything that white people afford you. You want everything that white people can afford you, but you don't want to leave us. Like you're not man enough to say we want to stand on our own 2 feet.
The coons don't want to leave, y'all.
Most of the technology white people have and use was stolen from black people. So
don't even start that, dude. Peanut butter and the stoplight ain't impressing anybody, dude.
Well, how about the cell phone?
Y'all didn't invent the cell phone. Stop the cap, dude. We invented internet, flight, space travel, rocket technology, modern agriculture, modern medicine.
Internet was a Nigerian guy. Look it up.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was a Nigerian guy.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yes, it was.
I don't even have to justify that with a response.
The toilet you sit on, go look it up. The toilet you sit your white ass on, go look that up. That was also a black person.
So the toilet, y'all guys got those. I don't even think you invented the toilet.
Iron you iron your sheets with.
Modern irrigation and modern agriculture, that was all us.
Dude, you are so this is the problem, you see. This is the problem. And if you say
okay. Let's stop the bullshit, and how about we just look at let's just look at the proof in the pudding.
Why did they bring
Let's look at the proof in the pudding. What did we build? We built Western civilization. What did you guys build? You guys still live in mud huts and eat dirt burgers in sub-Saharan Africa.
And who taught you how to
You guys didn't even have a written language when we showed up. You guys didn't even have 2-story buildings.
Who taught you how to take a shower? Who taught white people how to take a shower?
Oh, we're doing the whole bathing thing now? Hey, have you seen that hieroglyphic in Egypt where we got the black people washing the white man's dick? You know that the pharaohs were actually more genetically European than anything else? That's why Cleopatra looks more like us and not y'all. And y'all get mad every time.
Look nothing like you. Nothing like you.
Every time they make a realistic Cleopatra, it looks like somebody from like Italy or something.
Okay, all right, we're done here.
It's not movie, genetic testing. They've done genetic testing.
Because
which, by the way, we're also the people who discovered the double helix for DNA. In case you didn't know.
You made movies. You made Moses black. You made Cleopatra black. Everything you do, you make it black. You made Jesus white. You made Jesus white. You made Moses white. Of course, if you are in charge of making the movie,
Moses is Jewish. Moses is Jewish, and so is Jesus. But that doesn't really change the argument of anything.
The original Jews were black. The true Jews.
Oh, you're a Hebrew Israelite. You're one of those guys.
No, I'm just stating facts.
So what does that change? Let's say you guys are the real Jews. Let's say you guys are the real Jews. What does that change? What does that do for you?
Anything, just admit it. The real Jews were black. Who cares?
Okay, let's say I admit you guys were the real Jews. What does it change? What does it mean?
Adam and Eve are also black because you can't get white from two white people. Can you? Can you get white
Yes,
from two white people?
When two people reproduce, they have a white kid. What the fuck are you talking about?
You can't get. Okay, so that means Adam and Eve were black. You can get any race from black.
It doesn't make any sense. But even if I admit you're right, what does it change? We are still us, and you're still you.
I'm saying to you, the original people on the earth were black, right?
So you believe in the out of Africa theory? You believe in the out of Africa theory?
What do you mean believe in it?
You know the guy who came up with the out of Africa theory debunked himself several times over. There's Asians, there's people in Northern Europe, there's Hispanics, there's all kinds of people who have 0% African DNA.
Listen,
again, they tell you this guy.
And you believe what you believe.
Yes, I am. I'm white. I'm white. I'm white.
Yes, you can't.
W-H-I-T.
Oh, by the way, white is a made-up construct.
Oh, European descent. European descent. We can do the semantics all day. I'm of European descent. I'm of European descent.
Listen,
does that change it? Does that help you?
Let me go back to your original question. I don't understand why is it that whenever white people want to move forward, it always includes the elimination or the hatred or hurting another race. Why that I don't
quite follow what you mean, because like we've done the civil rights, you guys have all of these opportunities, these non-charities, these non-profits. You guys are constantly propped up in Hollywood. You get all these advantages to go to higher education, et cetera, right? Like, I don't understand what you mean by that. White people, like you mentioned earlier, white people killed almost 500,000 of ourselves to free you.
What? What are you talking about?
The Civil War? Do you not know what the Civil War is?
The Civil War was fought to keep slavery intact. Dude,
I know, but white people, there was another half of the white people who did it to free you. So if you're gonna condemn us for the bad things, then you have to praise us for the good things.
But sir, if you were alive back then, you would have been on the General Lee side from your conversation you're having right now.
Do you know how many people actually own
Answer my
slaves at the
question,
peak of slavery?
sir.
Like 2 or 3%. I don't know if I would have. I don't know. It depends on my situation. Which is what I was going to get to. If I was born into some, if I was born into, no, I don't want to own people. I don't want to own people, believe it or not. I actually don't want to enslave people. I know you guys think that, but actually, that's the thing, is that we just don't even want to deal with it. We don't even want you around.
And
that's the thing. Like, how can you say that I don't want y'all around, but at the same time I want to enslave you and have you by my side?
The American Indians don't want you around. Why don't you leave?
Because we built America.
Okay, all right, we gotta go because you.
So this is actually a great segue. If it was so bad for the American Indians, why would it be good for us to put ourselves in the same situation? Right? Shouldn't we learn a lesson from the American Indians?
I don't get
why didn't the American Indians just accept diversity? Why didn't American Indians just say, "Oh, this is great"? Why don't we make ourselves a hated minority in our own country? That seems like such a great idea, right?
Dude, here's what happened when the white man came to America, right? White man came to America. American Indians.
Oh, by the way, Vikings were here before Native Americans. There's actually good evidence to support that. They didn't stay or build anything, but they were here first.
The Africans were here first.
Yeah,
no, y'all guys were not. We brought you here, dude. This is what I mean. Like, your entire history is just this pro-black bullshit that like y'all did everything and everybody owes you. This is why not only white people are getting tired of y'all, everybody's getting tired of y'all. Everybody's getting tired of y'all because of this attitude.
Tired of you. Cut his ass off. I've been being real.
So we want segregation, right? You guys want segregation then?
Now I want it. I want it now. Segregate him.
All right. Then we agree on one thing. Then we agree on one thing. I don't want y'all around, and you don't want me around. That's what y'all should advocate for, and I'll do the same thing.
Y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. Fuck y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. Fuck y'all, we tired. We been you long time. Yeah. Fuck y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. Fuck y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. Fuck y'all, we tired. We been you long time. Move to our hood, hate on blast. Can't stand niggas niggas, but you want our cash. Can't go to the burbs and set up shop. Can't fuck with niggas, y'all been the ops. Follow us around like we trying to steal. Put that shit back, then you shoot to kill. Got away with murder, killing Latasha inside. And you bitches still think we gon' hurry up and buy. We taking back our hood and our dollars too. Fuck Rick Chow and Soon Jadu. If our money don't matter, why you so mad? Stand on anti-black business since you think you're bad. This ain't a boycott, it's a blackout, bitch. Why black on now watch the hood get rich? Oh, fuck y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. Fuck y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. Fuck y'all, we tired. We bang you long time. Fuck y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. Fuck y'all, we tired. Yeah, we so tired. We bang you long time.
8 dark facts about the Trail of Tears that you didn't learn in history class. Number 1, the 1,000-mile death march. Could you imagine being at your house, maybe setting up for dinner, you get a knock at the door, and when you open it, you have a gun pointed at your face saying that you must leave your house, it is no longer your house, and you can't grab your shoes, you can't grab blankets, food, or anything, and you're told that you have to march 1,000 miles in the middle of summer and winter. And then as you're being marched away from your house, you look back and you see colonists that have been wanting your land the whole time. They get to go raid your house, take what they want, and then claim it as their own. Well, basically that's what happened to all the Native American tribes that were living east of the Mississippi River when President Andrew Jackson passed the Indian Removal Act of 1830. And yes, that's a real thing even though it sounds fake. This is a picture of the actual document. And here's another document called Order Number 25 that was created by Major General Scott, kind of breaking down the whole removal. And just check out some of the wording in this, like the Cherokees, by the advances which they have made in Christianity and civilization, are by far the most interesting tribe of Indians in the territorial limits of the United States. Of the 15,000 of those people who are now to be removed, it is understood that about 4/5 are opposed or have become adverse to a distant immigration. And although none are in actual hostilities with the United States or threaten a resistance by arms, yet the troops will probably be obliged to cover the whole country they inhabit in order to make prisoners or to march or transport the prisoners. This one's crazy as well. It's impossible to doubt that the Indians may soon be induced to confide in the army instead of fleeing to mountains and forests, flock to us for food and clothing. Basically, they're saying that they hope that the Native Americans will just give up easy and just say, we're coming to you for aid and just give us food and land.
Dude.
When you have people like that that come out and they talk, you have to document so you can be able to, say what you need to say. He was saying that black men do more mass shootings. That's not true. We're not
Knows
known
it's
for
not
mass
true,
shootings.
but he
You,
knows it's not true though, Tiff. He knows.
but and and I put it up in the chat. They said it's 50 to 60% of white men, white people do this, and only 15 to 25% of us. You understand what I'm saying? So we don't go around doing mass shootings. We don't do that. You understand? Listen. You saw how mad I was because my mother had to scream at me from the back. Okay.
Oh, he was off on the rape thing too, but he was off on a lot of stuff. I mean, most of the stuff he said were lies and miseducation stuff that he probably learned at these white supremacist groups that he most likely attend these white supremacist groups, and they teach them all of this. They brainwash them all this stuff. And none of the stuff he said was true.
Even down to the
that's
rape.
what I just
I had
said.
to
The
look
rape
this
stuff is
up.
definitely not true.
I
It's
had to
definitely
look
not
this
true.
up. It says most offenders. First of all, they said that white on white rape is more of they do their rape, whatever. I'm saying it's 50 to 55% white offenders than black men. So what do you people need to do more history or more research before they come out and they say these things. And for our watchers that's watching, when you have people that come out, you have to do your own history yourself. You have to do your own research. And a lot of the stuff that he is saying was talking points that was probably fed to him. We don't just it was
Tiffany,
just sad. I was done with him.
More black women were raped during the slavery era
Yes.
by white men than black men would ever rape a white woman ever in the history of this world. What do you know?
He even black
Let me say,
interracial rape, they said that is so small.
let
That's
me
on a
say this.
2%, a 2 to 3%. And you saying that we are the majority of raping white, that's how I knew something was wrong. Because that was always been fed to young white men anyway, and young white women that we are very sexual, we're raping. No, we're not. Y'all projecting off of what y'all have done to us.
Funny
And
that
my
a
thing
guy
is,
that wants to don't want us here, that don't want to associate with us, who thinks we should be separated, took time to watch our show.
yeah, he did. He did take the time out. But it's just to let you
But
know
why?
he is how many people feel and white people feel. And it's very sad. Even though he said we gave y'all education, what do you feel that we should do? We don't even bother you. That's the point that we're making. We don't even bother white people. I know I don't. I know y'all don't. We don't just go around and say, oh, let's pick on a white person today. Or let's go mind some white person's business. No, we don't do that. We stay to ourselves. We be hoping that y'all don't bother us. Matter of fact, as soon as I see y'all, I take off, grab my pocketbook, because we know y'all be stealing, and I leave. I don't even be associated. So for him to say all of that, I just feel sad that he's very ill-informed.
But to your point, Tiffany, this is exactly why you can get 400 white men marching on the mall of
It's
Washington.
sad.
You know what I mean? Because they feel he spewed nothing but lies, right? And he stated it like it was facts. This is exactly what Trump does, right? Trump spews lies, and Trump's attitude is if you tell a lie enough times and loud enough, people would eventually believe it. So this is what this guy was doing, right? He's spewing all these so-called facts, nowhere to go to back it up. He has no evidence, but it sounds, but the way he's saying it loud, and he's saying it confident. You say something loud, you tell lies loud and confident, you can get people to believe you. And
Yeah, and that's what he was
doing. Absolutely. So now we can see we got an inside look as to why white supremacy and hatred and racism continues to thrive in America. Because if he believes this, his kids believe it. If he has kids, his mom, all his family, his friends, they all feel the same way. Like black people contributed nothing. White people built this world. Of course, he didn't hear about the Trail of Tears when white people totally took out a whole Indian tribe, about the Tuskegee experiment, all that stuff. They are totally, well, they're not oblivious to it. They know it, but they block it out. Somehow they block it out, and they believe what they believe. It's kind of like when they took the Bible and they had what they call a slave Bible, right? They took the real Bible, they took out the parts that talked about freedom and love and all that stuff, and they gave the slaves the Bible that showed that the white man is the master.
Right.
So this is what this is what people like him do. So I was not surprised. He's saying it loud. He's saying it confident. And if he spoke to other little white boys, he's going to have them believe in what he believes. Right?
Well, that's the problem. That he is speaking to other little white boys, and Charlie Kirk was speaking to other white
like
boys.
He was a miniature Charlie Kirk.
And
Yeah.
all these guys are speaking, as far as we know, he could have been one of the guys on the National Mall in his match yesterday. The guy that just got off our show could have easily been one of the guys on the National Mall yesterday, right?
But my thing is, why do they think that we're taken from whites? We don't care. Like he felt like, what do you want us to do? Do what you do. Just leave us alone. That's it.
Because they're mediocre, because they don't have what we have, Tiff. They don't have what we have. You know that. You know that. They don't have what we have.
And everything he said he created. So if everything that y'all European, because only thing he did say that was right is that why a lot of those white people came over here taking over people's shit is because they was fighting against religion. Europe was killing you if you wasn't if you wasn't Catholic or if you wasn't Protestant. They were going through religious wars, and that's why they brought the worst of the worst over here, which is probably his ancestors. But my thing is, we don't even mess with y'all. We try to stay away. We just what's best for us and move on. That's
I
it. We
guarantee
didn't
you,
ask to
Tiffany.
come here. They brought us here. If they built everything, right? Why did they bring us here? They didn't need us then, right? Why
I
did they
guarantee
bring us
you.
here?
I guarantee you, he listens to rap music.
All of them listen to rap
Because
music. All of
when
them listen to R&B
he
music.
addressed me as dog. Remember that? Hey, dog. He addressed me as dog, which is slang, right? And he also said he played basketball with black men. So there you have it.
Right. Yeah.
There you have it, right? So so he probably watches basketball still to this day. He wants to be separated, but he probably the biggest Michael Jordan fan or LeBron James fan, right? But he wants to be. Everybody, these guys will be so separated, but they listen to our music. They watch us play sports. You're probably a fan of a football team where there's black NFL players. So these guys are confused as hell, man.
But that's the dangerous kind, though, Kev. That's the dangerous kind, the kind who are in our culture and in our amongst us, but feel the way he feels, right? I'm sure his black friends don't know. You know what I mean? He feels the way he feels.
The guy who was on the show earlier who asked, "How can we move forward?" If he's still watching the show, we can't move forward, sir. We're stuck in this horrible cancer called racism in the United States of America because the guy that just got off our show, there's millions of people that think like him. And that's why we can't move forward. There's not enough Jane Elliots to change this guy's thinking.
The guys, white people built America. I mean,
yeah.
Anyone that can say that, anyone that can say that and be serious about it.
Yeah, but their ancestors documented everything they did to us. So that's the only reason why, somebody was in a comment, calm down, Tiffany. Don't worry about me. I'm calm, okay? Most of us gonna calm me down. It's my mother, Florence goes to the back. But anyway. But they documented everything, and I have been to slave plantations, museums. They documented everything. They wrote diaries. They documented how they treated us, how they spent money, how we were their money. So I'm not listening to anything that anybody has to say in the chat that's negatively towards us. We know our history. They need to learn the history. And we are a part of American history. If it wasn't for us, like Kev said, we built half this country. We built this country with our blood, sweat, and tears, with no money.
Everyone knows that, except for the white supremacists, Tiff. Everyone knows that. You think there's a person in this world that does not know that the black slaves in America built this country? They built the White House, right? Slaves built the White House. So
yeah. But, and another thing, I don't know, her name is Miss Sarah Dallas, whatever the case may be. Yeah, you had language and you wrote down, but y'all didn't even want us to have education. Because if we had education and we would have figured out what was going on, oh yeah, we would have rised up. And it's so sad that y'all had education, but y'all only had third grade education having slaves. Y'all wasn't even smart. So y'all are really mad that we are super smart now. We are in college. Because you can hear them. They use that as a tone. We gave y'all schools. We let y'all go to school. No, we went to school. That's what our parents and our ancestors wanted. They wanted us to have an education because y'all was trying to keep us dumb. And we're not.
Someone is asking us if we've ever heard of William Harvey Carney. I've never heard of William Harvey Carney. They say, "Hello, Cass. Have you ever heard of William Harvey Carney?" No, we have. I have not. I don't know if Kevin or Tiffany have, but we will definitely look up William Harvey Carney. And I don't know what he has to offer, but
I'm
Definitely.
afraid to find out at this point.
Great. But yeah, I mean, what that guy was saying was nothing but lies, you know. But that's the
William
mindset of
Harvey.
white supremacists. That's what white supremacy is. He's the epitome of white supremacy. You tell yourself that you're better, right, and you believe it, even though you know you're not. So anyway, it is what it is, and he was who he was, and black people were the first people on the earth. You cannot get a black child from two white people, but you can definitely get a white child from two black people. You can get a light-skinned baby from two black people.
I just pulled up William Harvey Carney.
Yeah.
He was a black guy. He was wearing the Medal of Honor he received in 1900. I'm reading his autobiography right now. It's pretty amazing. Well, maybe we'll talk about him next week on the show. I'll share with you guys all because it's too much for me to share right now. But I did pull him up. William Harvey Carney. He's a brother, and he was born enslaved. Yeah. So
Somebody's asking what about black supremacy? I see a lot of it now. Black supremacy. How are we supreme? What power do we have? How can we deny white people from getting jobs? How can we deny white people from getting bank loans or loans to have a business? How can we deny white people where to live? We don't have any supremacy over we don't have that control,
to the person who told us to look up William Harvey Carney, thank you so much for bringing his name up. I love this type of history. I'm definitely going to check him out on YouTube and do more research on him. But from what I'm reading so far, he's a pretty amazing brother. Yeah, thank you for that. But yeah, white supremacy, black supremacy, like you said, Carl, we had no supremacy over nobody.
Right.
When Obama was president, he tried to provide jobs for everybody. I think over 400,000 black women lost their jobs under this current administration. And black employment actually is down right now at a very low rate right now under this administration. So I don't know what supremacy black people have, or what black politicians get up every morning and go, let's see how I can hold white people back today.
It can't.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the real world. I know people think, people always thought if they got a black president, he's gonna come after us. He's gonna get back at us for slavery. He's gonna, that's what they think, man. When Obama won presidency, gun sales skyrocketed among white people because they thought now that he was president, he's gonna turn black people into these radical ass people to come after white people. They're so fragile. It's ridiculous.
I see Donna said agreed, Scooby. I'm not sure what Scooby said, but Donna agreed with something that Scooby. So let me see if I can go back through the comments to see what Scooby. I don't know what Scooby Doo said. I don't see any Scooby D2 comments. Scooby's probably in bed by now. He usually can't do the 2 hours that we do.
He's got different time zones.
Yeah, we on. And they say also please look up Lemuel. Did I pronounce that right? Lemuel, is that how I pronounce that?
And please, people, we ask, go into the comment section after our live and put in the information. We love to know information. We like to look up stuff. We like to know that we are all on the same page, or even the ones that is not on the same page. We want to know what you're talking about. We want to know your comments. So make sure you leave a comment after the live.
All right, thanks. Kevin Lemuel Haynes, can you look him up? Did you look him up?
No, I just looked up the other guy. What's the new guy? What's the other person's name?
Lemuel, Lamuel, Lemuel
Haynes.
I will check it out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Haynes.
Two Shine 55 from YouTube. Yeah, somebody said
Sarah said she liked me. Sarah, I was about to say you getting on my nerves, Sarah.
See, she said she likes
Sarah
it.
likes me. Yeah, she likes the black lady. She likes the big black lady. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. It was a fun show. It was a very interesting show, but we've said I've said I don't understand how people can feel the way they feel. How does racism continue to thrive? How do we still have a KKK, a Proud Boys? But this guy that came on tonight, he showed me, man, that people they have this belief. Now you can understand why a cop can pull over a black man and just shoot him. Now it all makes sense, right? You can see how a cop can just shoot and kill us and not even care. This guy, we mean nothing to them. He said they don't want to be around us. We built, right?
You just let us know, yeah.
They don't want to be around us. We don't want to be around you either. But he said we built nothing. Western civilization was built by the white man. Everything that we have to thank the white man for, because we obviously contributed nothing. And he said peanut butter and the traffic light. That's all he knew. That's the only thing he knows that we.
Oh my! Now that bothered me.
But the stuff that goes inside, and if they don't go to Africa, which is a black country, to get the cobalt to put in the cell phone, your cell phone would not work. Why are you in Africa? Why don't you get all the stuff that goes into your cell phone from Europe? Why are all the big companies? Why is France in Europe? Why is Portugal in Europe? Why does America have companies set up
in Africa?
Sorry. Why? Why? If you don't like black people, that's where the black people are. If you don't like black people, stay out of Africa. But
what it tells us, it tells me as a black person that we need to have more high self-esteem for ourselves as black people. To know that we are who we are resilient, and we can produce. We can be able to have our black economics, because he just let us know that they don't really want to be bothered. And if they're not in charge or we're not beneath them, they don't want to be bothered. So
where did he get it from that we want to be around them? Like he's saying that we want to live.
No, it is a lot of people. Come on, you got people that take their kids to white schools. People want to live in white neighborhoods. You got a lot of people, and this is how they feel. They don't want you in their neighborhoods. They don't want you in their schools. They don't want you in their restaurants. And he just lets you know that this is why we have to support one another and stop having low self-esteem on ourselves.
But Tiffany, but is it theirs though? If I go somewhere and I see a nice house and I have the money to buy this house, and I don't care who, I don't know the neighbors, but if I like this house, I don't have the right to buy that house?
No, you have the right to buy the house because you have the money. But also, you're going to be living there with people on this side and that side. And you want to be in a community or somewhere where you will feel safe. You will feel comfortable. You don't have to worry about coming outside or being harassed or asked, why are you here? Or why are you driving that car? You understand what I'm saying? Why is your kids going to our school? You shouldn't have to feel like that. You understand? So we get it. If we have the money, yes, but we have to be careful on who we surround ourselves with.
But are we moving into a neighborhood because it's white people there? Are we moving into a neighborhood because it's a nice house? Or it's a nice neighborhood? Is it nice because white people are there? Or is it nice because of where it is? All right, we're gonna wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for joining tonight. It was very interesting. I learned a lot. Well, I kind of already knew, but that guy that came on, he kind of let us know that white supremacy is not going anywhere. Racism is not going anywhere. And we just have to find or maneuver our way through life, because
like we've been doing.
He said he has black friends. He says he plays basketball, which is that was a serious.
But I wouldn't want to be friends with him because
but they don't know.
He's thinking.
His friends don't know that. I guarantee his black friends don't know that. I'm sure I might have some white friends who feels the same way he does. Who knows?
No accountability for again. But we just talked about it. These are the younger people. They feel like, and they were taught they should not be how can you say, they shouldn't be charged with what their ancestors did. You know, they weren't there. But you're living off of our wealth. You understand? And what our people had to go through. And that's our only thing. Again, we know we have good white people out there and we have bad people, or bad white people out there, just like we have bad black people, we have good black people, you know, but we already know that this system has been built against us for hundreds of years. And the only thing we want is to survive and be left alone and live. You understand? Raise our children, have fun, you know, and enjoy life. That's it. We don't ask for a lot.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. It was fun.
Yeah, you had us up here 2 hours. I was trying not to do no 2 hours with you, but then you're gonna have the white baby supremacists up here giving us and we give a shout out to you, young man. I'm not gonna say because I got nephews and I got mixed nephews at that, okay? But I'm definitely gonna just say thank you for your information. Thank you for letting us know how you feel and what's really going on. And we all should take note on everything that he has said to us. And also look up everything. I'm going to go back and look up everything and post it because I didn't believe half the stuff that he said. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
My faith
Y'all
is,
speechless. We are black men speechless.
man, my faith is shattered, man. I can't.
What
You
is
know, I try to have some hope. You know,
Thanks,
Carl
Sarah
and Tiffany. I
Dallas.
try to have some hope that we're gonna get past this, and there's just a small amount of these knuckleheads out here that feel this way, and it's not the majority, it's the minority, and we're gonna be okay. But then I don't know, man. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
the fact that, you know, we get this guy to come on the show, not of all the people that watch our show, how come somebody that thinks like Jane Elliott didn't tune in? This is when we did a show on white. We started the show off on white allies. That was the title of our show today. Not one white ally actually asked to come on the show and say, "I'm with you guys. I watch you every week. I agree with what you're doing. I agree with what you're saying. I'm in the fight for all that." There was no white allies to come on our show. Instead, we got a straight up
that guy
white supremacist on our show. You know, we did a show on white allies, and we got a white supremacist that was bold enough to come on the show and debate us. And we appreciate the debate. It was all false BS, but we still appreciate the debate. Nothing he said was true. Unfortunately, the guy's brainwashed terribly to believe the things that he believed. But you know, it is what it is. Nobody's going to change that guy's mind. He's going to, you know, probably, you know, go see his maker, believe in what he just said. Nobody's going to change his mind. I don't know how old he is. You know, he sounds like a young guy, and that's even more scarier that he may be in his 20s or early 30s and feel the way he feel. You know, if you get some 80-year-old guy who grew up in the 60s, who's part of the Jim Crow whole thing, and he comes on the show and he's in his 80s and he just don't like black people, and it's just that always been that way with him. Like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, you get a guy probably in his 20s or 30s that come on our show who thinks like he thinks, man. That's scary. That we all in trouble because, like I said earlier in the show, if you pull all those masks off those guys on the National Mall yesterday, they probably all young men.
Yeah,
and that's
a problem. That's a problem because it's not the old men. It's not the old men from the 70s or the old men from the 60s that walk around here being racist. It's these young guys. It's the Dylan Roofs of the world. You know, if Dylan Roof didn't kill those people in the church, he'd have been on the mall yesterday in a mask. You know what I'm saying? It's those guys. You know,
the guy said that we commit the most mass murders.
No, and I put that up. It's not true.
Okay.
Well,
it's not
you know what
true.
we do? We have a whole week until next Sunday to pull up articles and debunk all of the stuff that he put up. And if he's still watching the show next week, I think he will tune in. He won't probably come on the show, but he'll watch.
Yeah,
because they're obsessed with us.
We got Shine 55. on YouTube wants to join our conversation, next Sunday, you're very, very welcome. Please tune in next Sunday. We'll definitely have you on next Sunday. But
Yeah,
Okay,
because
say
we
something real
trying to get
quickly.
over this one right now. Like, I need a drink or something. I don't even drink.
Hey, I pulled up Lamel Haynes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of YouTube stuff on this dude, and very interesting. So I'm gonna be watching some YouTube after the show. He's a white guy, but he's an ally, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely.
You saw how quickly he wanted me to take down Tim Wise talking about pedophilia and white men.
Oh yeah, he don't want to hear Tim Wise because
Another white man don't want to see another white man tell him about himself. That's what was going on. He was like, "Oh, I heard it already." I don't know
if
why
it
he
was
didn't have
Malcolm
his
X, he
thing
would have
beat.
been like, yeah, but because it was Tim Hayes,
right? Yeah. So so next week we're gonna have you on Shine55 from YouTube. We absolutely. Tiffany, anything you want to share? Anything you learned?
I got white fatigue.
You got
I got white fatigue. Now I gotta go in there and talk to my mother. You should have heard her.
Kev, anything you want to share that you learned on tonight's show?
I was glad that guy's not my neighbor. and he might be.
Yeah,
I have white neighbors.
Neighbor, your friend, the people
I have white neighbors, so he could easily be a white neighbor, right? He could easily be in my front row.
Who you do your comedy to? Who you perform in front of?
I perform in front of everybody, Tiffany, black, white, it don't matter, but whoever pays me to make them funny. So I just posted on my Instagram today a clip from my Def Comedy Jam. Now it was all black, so it is what it is. I perform for everybody, but he might be in the front row of one of my audiences. I've had plenty of racist people in my audience over the years. But when they come to a show, they come to a show. They want to be entertained. It is what it is. I've had drunk guys come up and tell me the worst jokes, racist jokes ever at the show. You ever hear the one about the two black guys? It's the most racist joke you ever heard. So yeah. Alcohol is what it is. When you're drunk, they forget where they are and they start telling you racist jokes. I just don't. Man, Carl.
I will say,
I'm disgusted, man. I'm disgusted. I'm so disgusted right now. I want to take a shower after this show.
I feel kind of dirty after having that guy.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta take a shower, man. I gotta get that funk off me, man.
You see people like him on video, but to actually talk with some person, it hits different.
Oh, stop. I learned that from when y'all did the Trump one. When y'all put your Trump friends up there. I already knew. I was in the same shot from there.
They weren't. I mean, the stuff this guy was saying that black people did not build America, white people built Western civilization. We contributed nothing other than peanut butter and the traffic light. Dude, the toilet you sit on, look it up. The ironing board. Look that up. So anyway, but this is what they tell themselves to keep the lie going, right? That's why Dylan Ruth was able to go in there and kill those black people in that church, because he heard the same thing this guy heard. So he didn't see people, right?
And I know he regretted it because now your life is in jail because you was ignorant and you followed a whole bunch of lies when the only thing you had to do was walk right past the church and kept going. You didn't have to go in there. That's our point that we're making. You don't have to do it. You don't have to bother us because we don't pay y'all no attention. We allowed him in. We prayed with him. We ate with him. We sung with him, and he killed them. So please, I'm sorry, Carl. That was all.
All right, folks, we out. Usually go out. I like to promote some black businesses, but I am, as Tiffany said, I got some serious white fatigue right now, and I just need to go meditate. Thank you.
Peace to each of us. Peace and love. Peace and love.
So shout out to all the people that were in the chat. Really appreciate you, Donna, Scooby D2, Nicole, Pamela. I didn't see Pamela Jones. Rick Jenkins from Boston. all the newbies and all the people who are here with us every Sunday. We appreciate you. Even what was the white supremacists we had on? Shout out to you. You believe what you believe, and I've said that on the show many times. You believe what you believe, and we can't change your beliefs. That's why they were able to have that many people marching on the Washington Mall yesterday, chanting those racist chants, because it is what it is. That's why there's a KKK. That's why there's a Proud Boys movement. That's why there's a Nazi group, because people really believe what they believe. And I don't think there's anything we can ever do about it, but shine a light on it and make people aware that these people do exist. All right, Kev, love you, brother. Tiffany. And we'll be back next week.
Yeah, man.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future.
Next week, we're in
With Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need. The enemy, we'll be giving you empathy. We're gonna challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. No, it's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.